What's your theory on how that cell phone ended up flying 30 feet?
It just did.
He's such a great expert. He's like, it just happened. John O'Keefe's body traveled 30 feet, and the only damage, the car should have been going like 75 miles an hour in reverse for it to travel that distance. In the snow, with snow on the ground.
I didn't put the evidence there.
Unbelievable.
So,
well, you didn't. They did.
objection.
All right, so
Yeah.
jurors, I've told you before, lawyers cannot make comments, so disregard it.
Just imagine in your mind's eye how completely impossible the scenario that he's describing to have happened, to have actually happened. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law. Folks, today we're gonna continue with Trooper Paul number 2. Watch as Jackson continues to disassemble this little weasel who can't even get his facts straight, can't get his ideas straight, is incapable of answering questions directly, and is constantly dancing around. Let's continue with the cross-examination of Trooper Paul in Karen Reed trial number 1 by Alan Jackson. Let's go.
279.
Okay.
Taking a look at Exhibit 279, I want to draw your attention to that piece right there, okay, of plastic. You see it?
Yes.
You describe it for me. Just physically, what does that look like?
Looks like clear plastic with a little bit of red and black on the top part.
Okay, maybe in a triangular shape. Is that fair?
Correct.
Okay. Now, if we could go back to, with the court's permission, Exhibit 492,
Okay.
and if we can highlight it just above the ruler. How would you describe that piece of material?
It looks like the same piece.
Does that, based on that, does that appear to be part of the taillight material that was found at the scene?
Correct.
Okay. Now, based on that, are you now suggesting, if we could go, with the court's permission, if we could go back to 587, I'll stop jumping around just a second, I think we
Okay.
could just get back to 587. Oh, sorry, it's diagram 3. Thanks. Now, seeing what you just now seen, in terms of that piece of plastic, that appears to be from the taillight, does that appear to be under the fire hydrant, which is highlighted? Same piece.
Yes.
Okay. Based on that, does that change your opinion? Is that now, the fire hydrant now, the point of impact?
No.
Where is the point of impact now?
It's along the roadway. I don't know the exact point of impact.
So you don't know the area of impact?
I said the area of impact is along the roadway after the debris.
Okay.
I mean, only thing it would change is maybe it was a little further away. But besides that, it's a linear field. I'm not talking about like one point. You kind of follow the middle of the debris field, and that should be the path.
Just imagine in your mind's eye how completely impossible the scenario that he's describing to have actually happened. For an SUV to go at such a high rate of speed as to hit a pedestrian, John O'Keefe, with just the 7.5 by 8.5 inch surface area, nothing else. Everything else is completely untouched around that area. And for that plastic to shatter and travel with the body in the direction of impact and scatter like confetti. Realistically speaking, it would be confined to a very limited space, and plastic would be found in John's body because of the impact. And the SUV rear would have been completely destroyed. The metal would have been bent, the rear frame would have been bent, the bumper would have been probably either bent or broken. The whole rear of the SUV would have been catastrophically damaged and would be in dire need of repair. You probably wouldn't even be able to get back on the roadway without getting pulled over every 5 minutes because police officers would be asking questions. What did you hit? You clearly hit something. And combine that with Nicholas Barros' testimony that the taillight was merely cracked and not broken, just cracked, it simply doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes sense. And Trooper Paul is not helping the case.
Well,
in any way, shape, or
the
form.
point of impact is along the roadway. Where along the roadway, if you can show the jurors, where along the roadway, in your expert opinion, was the point of impact?
In your expert opinion.
It should be within, if you follow from pedestrians, find a rest here, just kind of follow back. That's what I'm talking about, linear field. I can't,
So now you've indicated an area, if I can follow your laser pointer, an area along here, correct?
yes, somewhere in there.
All right, if I have my spotlight, is that, if I leave it right there, is that about where the middle of the spotlight, about where you believe the area of impact is?
It's within, I guess you can say it's within that area. I don't know definitely, there's nothing on the roadway that has a definitive point that says this is the area impact right here. It's within the roadway based on the evidence at the scene.
Okay. Mr. Paul, sorry, Trooper Paul, I'm asking you, based on your expert opinion and your conclusions, based on your full analysis, can you point me to within an area of 5 feet or so on the roadway where you believe the area of impact is? Is my spotlight basically highlighting the area that you believe, in your opinion, was the area of impact?
You have that laser pointer?
I do.
Why don't we let him show you? It'd be easier for the jury to see.
Yes, go ahead, show us.
So what I'm trying to say is, so we follow the linear path.
No,
back.
stop saying linear, follow the linear path. He asked you a specific question within 5 feet. Just show me. And if you're too far away and the laser is shaking, that's okay. Come closer to the board. Show me within 5 feet the area of impact. Nail him down. That way you can use it later. And he's refusing to answer because he knows he's full of shit. He's got nothing. He has no idea. It's because it's not mathematically or physically possible. Period. Or materially. Good gravy.
Around this area.
Okay, can you...
And sorry, I'm trying to keep it straight as much as I can. Follow back to here. I can't say, like, if this definitely is, but it's possibly based on also vehicle damage to the back of the vehicle. So if you follow all the way back to here, that could be a possible area impact.
What damage?
So when you say that area there, just I want to be very clear for the record that what you highlighted is an area basically just to the left of an X that's on the roadway, on the bottom of diagram 3, toward the lower part of diagram 3.
It's
Correct?
You would use your circle almost kind of be a good area around.
I'm sorry, you need to...
You can use a circle around here. This would be around the area.
Okay.
Okay.
So using your scale, that scale is going from full left to full right. It's plus or minus 40 feet, right?
Switch. Can't see it.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
So say again. Say the question.
That scale is 40 feet. Going full left, full right, 40 feet.
It's 40 feet. It's a 10-foot scale.
Okay, sorry, 20 feet. My mistake.
Okay.
Eyes are terrible. 20 feet. Thank you. All right, so if you use that scale, can you estimate for the jurors? I'm just going to use this X as a starting point. You estimate for the jurors from this X that I've highlighted to the pedestrian's final rest. What's that number? Doesn't have to be exact. Give me an estimate.
So, I mean, it could be within 30 feet because
30 feet!
also on my scale, this 2 and
30
3 is 50
feet
from each other.
John O'Keefe's body traveled 30 feet? And the only damage to the car should have been going like 75 miles an hour in reverse for him to travel that distance. In the snow, with snow on the ground. He just said 30 feet! What?
50.
Okay.
5-0.
5-0.
So would you agree that from this X down here to pedestrian's final rest, as the crow flies, that's probably a good 35, 40 feet.
I mean, I could try to use the scale. With me as a scale.
If you wouldn't mind. Need a piece of paper?
Yes, please.
Oh,
Court's permission?
Okay.
Just a blank piece of paper.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
You need a pen?
I got one. Thank you. It's a little around. It's approximately 30 feet.
Approximately 30 feet.
Yes.
Okay. Can you
Wow. So I guess, not to be vulgar or anything, but it turns out that John O'Keefe's deceased body also has feet, like much like the debris that he was talking about, because debris moves around. So do inanimate objects like humans that are no longer breathing, that also can move around. Oh my God. The math is not mathing.
Commission, can you estimate 30 feet in here?
Can I
Can you point to a place in the courtroom that looks like it's 30 feet from you?
Objection.
No. Next question.
Does the court have a diagram of a diagram of distances in the courtroom?
In this courtroom? No.
No, of course not, because that would be useful to the
You
defense.
indicated just now.
Whoa! Did you see how he fixed his tie? He's like, oh boy, this is not good. This is not good. That is the hallmark of someone that is losing confidence and is very stressed. And he's just trying to get a little bit of air in there, a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of everything is fine. It's a soothing gesture. It's a same thing as like when people go like this, pat themselves on the head. Like it brings you back to childhood when your mommy used to pat you on the head when you're a good boy. You did good in school today. You know, it's very similar. It's also like, let me get some air in here. Let me be able to breathe. But yeah.
I'm finished with this. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, he did it again.
Okay, just now, in answer to Mr. Lally,'s last couple of questions, that in your expert opinion, when the SUV struck the pedestrian John O'Keefe, he was, quote, projected forward and to the left to the front yard to his final place of rest.
30 feet.
Yes.
30 feet.
So your expert testimony is that John O'Keefe was hit with the SUV and flew 30 feet.
Projected mean like I don't say he flew all the way there. He was projected in that way. He got pushed forward in that direction.
What?
Which, if he was rendered incapacitated, landed there, he'd have to sort of fly there, correct? Didn't walk there.
I mean, would you definitely flying like literally off the ground the whole entire time, or?
Well, you tell me.
You tell me. You're the
I mean, he got-
expert.
When we say projected, we mean he gets projected, and they usually have a landing phase, and they land, and they either roll or tumble to final rest.
Okay, how far do you think he landed? How far was it until he landed of that 30 feet?
I don't know. There's no indication of where his exact landing spot was.
Was there any evidence whatsoever that he landed and rolled?
And there was no evidence that he landed or rolled. Or no, rolled.
According to you, the evidence that you have in front of you is that he would get hit, fly 30 feet, land where he ended up in his final rest, right?
Objection.
That's like
Sustained.
that-
Ask it
that-
differently.
That's what he said,
Based on
though.
your expert opinion, you believe that he was projected through the air to his final rest place.
That's not what I'm saying.
But you said there's no evidence that he rolled.
And there's no evidence that he flew through the air either.
So how did he get there?
Right? Exactly.
Objection.
Sustained.
Yes. No. I want to hear it again. I want to hear it again.
That's not what I'm saying.
But you said there's no evidence that he rolled.
And there's no evidence that he flew through the air either.
Exactly. Right? Exactly.
Objection.
Sustained.
That's
You
a
said on
standing
Friday, in your
ovation.
experience, people tend to lose objects that are not strapped to them. Is that right?
Yes.
In other words, get hit by something, car, truck, bus, whatever, train, and if you have something in your hand, boom, you lose it, you drop it. If it's not strapped to you, correct?
Correct.
How do you suppose that Mr. O'Keefe, in your opinion, held on to that glass cup that was found right next to him
Yeah.
over the course of 30 feet?
It's a great question.
Objection.
I'll allow it.
Yes.
Do you have a theory on that?
Answer.
I don't know. I mean, it just could have been with him the whole way. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know how the glass stayed with his body and went with him to the final rest.
So it's just common sense. You have to believe that if it was in his hand, he held on to it the entire time it was being projected 30 feet, correct?
It could have been in his hand. It could have been tucked next to his clothing. Could
Did you say tucked into?
could have been next to his body. So when he projected, maybe the glass was with his body as it was also flying. So there's a number of reasons why the glass, because it also got projected with the body
Well,
while he was holding it.
I thought you said on Friday, and you just agreed with me, that people drop things and they're hit.
Yes, but I think not everything it tends to fly off. I mean, some stuff flies off, some stuff will stay on.
I see.
It's not uncommon to find piece of clothing and stuff, that you find at the scene.
Piece of clothing.
Like clothing, like shoes, like shoes and stuff like that to come off the body during a pedestrian crash.
Well, that's not what I asked.
I know, I'm just saying, you asked me, you said what I'm just responding to what you said. And trying to make sure you understand what I'm saying.
No, I don't, but I'll ask another question. Shoes
I don't
are strapped
either.
on, by definition, right?
Yes, but it's very common for shoes to come off.
How about a cell phone?
Cell phone, yeah, it depends. Depends on where it is.
Well, it was under his body.
Okay.
How do you account for that? You held onto a cell phone with one hand and held onto a cup with the other.
Objection.
Sustained. Ask it
It's
differently.
a good question.
If a cell phone was found under his torso, under his body, what's your theory on how that cell phone ended up flying 30 feet with it?
It just did.
It just did, because somebody
And
put it
somehow,
there.
as he landed, tucked that cell phone underneath his body so he landed on top of it.
It just did. That's the evidence at the scene. I can't.
He's such a great expert. He's like, it just happened. Rather than explaining, like, from a physics standpoint, this happened, and you understand the path, the trajectory of what happens to a cell phone. No. Forget all that. Listen, Jackson, it just happened. Next question. Yeah, that just happened too. Next question. Well, that didn't happen. Next question. Well, that just happened. Like, the level of incompetence here is just so staggering. It's so stark. It's so bad. I am just beside myself all over again. I remember seeing this live, and now I'm just reminded of the level of incompetence.
I didn't put the evidence there.
Unbelievable.
So
Well, you didn't.
You didn't. They did.
Objection.
All right, so
Yeah.
jurors, I've told you before, lawyers cannot make comments, so disregard it. Mr. Jackson, don't do it
I
again.
understand.
Yeah.
You understand,
Sit
but
down,
don't do
Bev.
it. Your
Sit
answer's
down.
always, I understand.
Bev, sit down!
Don't do it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nobody cares.
Cell phone in one hand,
Everybody knows
cup in
already.
the other hand, flew through the air. Right?
Objection.
Sustained.
This is not a judge. I know some of you are gonna go like, "Oh my God!" I know I didn't really yell at her, but like, I swear, it's this feeling that I get that you have two prosecutors in the room and one is wearing a robe. I have no respect for judges who have no respect for the law. I don't. I just don't. I tolerate her. That is the most I will give Auntie Bev, is I tolerate her because I have to. And if I was practicing in that courtroom, oh, by God, she'll be getting all sorts of respect from me. Absolutely. But I'm not practicing in the courtroom, and I have every right to judge her from here till Sunday, because I've had unruly judges before. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to put them in their place. And I have done it. If you've watched my videos, I have done it in my own cases, in my own videos. Go check out the playlist of my courtroom hearings. There are at least 3 hearings I can think of off the top of my head, 2 of them with the same judge, where I had to literally tell the judge and put her in her place because she was violating the law in open court. I know what the law was because I read it. I know it. And I told her, and she refused to follow it, so I had to put her in her place. I said, no, whatever you're asking me to do, I'm not doing it. Do something about it. Come on, bring it. And you know what? That earns you respect, because other judges see when you treat a judge that is violating the law like that, they respect you. I promise you, they respect you. But when a judge like this is acting in this way, again, I promise you, bad judges are going to dislike you because they're like, shoot, am I next? You know, I don't want to be up against this Foreman guy, so maybe they'll be a little bit more scared next time. And vice versa, judges who respect you because they follow the law, they're going to love you because they know they'll never have any problems with you because they follow the law and you have no reason to ever call them out. It's just going to be a normal interaction. Good morning, good night, you know, whatever. This is my case, Your Honor. I swear, this woman is just bringing out the worst in me. I cannot stand judges who violate the law. One day we're going to truly discover what Auntie Bev has been up to all this time. One day we're going to learn what she has done and how badly it is. And who knows, in the future, maybe Auntie Bev will be serving prison time. I wouldn't put it past her. Anything is possible. We'll see.
You were informed of this incident on January 29th, 2022 at about 2.
Of course, it all depends on the level of egregiousness of her involvement in all this and if she has received any payments, cash payments, promises, property, etc., in exchange for her rulings and her treatment of Karen Reed in this case and the protection she's offering to the troopers, the former troopers, and Lally and Brennan. That's what it's all going to boil down to.
2:30 in the afternoon. Is that right?
Yes.
At the time you were working out of the CARS facility, which is located on West Grove Street in Middleborough. Is that right?
Yes.
By the way, that's a facility that has multiple garages. Sally ports, I don't know if they're called Sally ports, but garage bays, correct?
The mechanic shop are there.
The mechanic shop
Yes.
is, if you're going to review, for instance, for purposes of reconstruction, if you're going to review a vehicle, is the vehicle placed in those mechanics bays?
No, not there. That's for state police vehicles.
Okay, so where are the mechanics bays, sorry, reverse that. Where are the Sally ports where you would do your analysis, your reconstruction, your review of the vehicle, inspections, things of that nature?
We don't have Sally ports for that.
You don't have anything dedicated to that?
No, the only time we would use a Sally port is the crime scene would have some Sally ports that they would do to document their crime scene stuff. And I've gone there, they've done my inspections, but most of our inspections are done either at the tow yard or some type of facility for that.
Ultimately, was this SUV ever taken to the Middleborough facility?
Yes, it was.
Where was it placed?
There's a fenced-in area inside it's a fenced-in area
Is it outside or inside?
outside.
Okay. Did it remain outside in that fenced-in area the whole time?
I don't know the exact time. It was there for a while, then it got moved.
Where did it get moved to?
I'm not sure exactly where they moved it immediately after it left Middleborough.
Are you familiar with the Foxborough location at MSP?
Yes.
Does that have Sally ports or bays for inspection and evaluation?
It has garages in it, but we wouldn't use them. We don't normally use those garages for inspections.
Is it possible to use those garages for inspections?
It is possible.
Okay. It's happened before, correct?
I've not used the inspection in the garages.
But it's,
I'm going to ask you to keep your voice up and
Sorry.
speak
Yes.
slowly.
I still,
you know that it could be
it
used-
just
sorry,
mumbles.
sorry. You know that those bays could be used for inspections or analysis or evaluation if needed, correct?
Yes.
All right. Given the fact that the SUV that was being seized on January 29th was being seized as potential evidence, best practices would suggest that you want to get it in and out of the bad weather, the inclement weather, as quickly as possible, correct? You wouldn't want to subject it to continued forces from nature like rain, wind, snow, sleet, hail, right?
That would be beneficial, yes.
All right. You're aware that the Foxborough location and the Middleborough location with the mechanics bays are all closer to Dighton than Canton, right?
Both Foxborough and
Foxborough and Middleborough are both closer to Dighton than Canton. In other words, you have to pass by, depending on which way you go, pass by Middleborough, pass by Foxborough to get to Canton.
And on that note, folks, we are going to stop it right here, and we're going to find out his answer in the next episode of Part 3 of Trooper Paul's cross-examination by Alan Jackson in the Karen Reed case, trial number 1, May 2024. Bye, everybody.